I'll get him to send it to me.
Okay, wait, I'll show you the demo. Okay, first of all you have to log in. Okay, and I think you guys have now changed your passwords. The first thing you should do is change your password. So there's this dummy user I have, and in the assignments tab you'll have the assignments that are pending. Okay, we'll have the topic description and everything, the total marks. You just have to click on this one. Okay, it's going to download the file. Open this file, it will show you exactly what you have to do. Okay, and plus it shows the deadline here as well. Here as well, this time will be different for you, I think, because it's locally defined. And when you're done with your assignments, you just have to click on this upload, and let's say any file you want to submit, let's say this one, and I'll click on this submit, and now it's submitted. And on my side of portal I will receive your assignments. I think I received two assignments from Mr. Rohel and Miss Mariam. And wait, let me log in. Yeah, so this is my side, and I'll have your batch selected. Your batch 1. At the moment you have 5 students. Yeah, 5 students. Okay. So I'll have this in assignments and view submitted assignments. So your assignments would be displayed right here. So at the moment I have 3. This one was a test user that has just submitted the assignment, and this one was from Mr. Rohel and Miss Mariam. So this is how I'll receive your assignments, and you have to submit before the deadline. This is important because this way I can keep track of your progress, and you can keep track of your progress. Okay, so make sure to submit the assignments within the deadline. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, you know how you just assigned us the assignments and the file was not opening? Is
Yeah.
it the same assignment that's the deadline for tomorrow?
Yeah, it's the same assignment. The same assignment.
So can we is it possible to get a little more time on it since we weren't able to do it because of the file?
I think you've already did it. The assignment was
Oh,
three.
it's that
This.
same one because I
Yeah.
wasn't able to see what you
Yeah.
assigned.
It's the same one. Wait, let me show you again. It
Oh,
says,
okay, okay, the one I showed you.
yeah, create 3 sections and submit a notepad file containing the GitHub link. Make sure the site is responsive. So this is the assignment.
Oh, I have that, so I'll just submit
Yeah.
it.
You just have to submit a notepad file that has the GitHub link to your website.
As in, like the dot HTML you taught
No,
us.
no, no, not HTML. The actual link, like when we upload our website on the GitHub. Do you guys remember that?
Okay.
When we make our website live.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to make your website live and send me a notepad file that has that specific link. Okay.
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 So okay, let's mark the attendance first. So we'll have batch 1. Okay. So Mr. Rohil is present. Miss Khadija is absent. Miss Nimra is present. Mr. Rohil is present. So what about Mr. Adil? You haven't sent me your email, and if you haven't sent me your email you would not be marked a present, and your assignments would not be submitted. Okay, I have to so today's topic is creating the not creating the continuing the simple X website. Okay, so the attendance is marked. Let's start with our website where we left it off. So open the VS Code. We have talked about command line in the previous class. Yes, the CMD. Do you guys remember? You don't remember this one. When we press Window R and then we type in CMD, and then there were some commands we've discussed. Do you guys remember or not?
Yeah.
And do
Sorry, I
you?
missed the question. I was disconnected.
Okay, so my question was, what is command line CMD? What is command line interface?
Um, it runs the commands on your computer, like
Yeah, exactly. Basically,
files
so
and the programs.
yeah, exactly. So basically, what we do with GUI stands for graphical user interface. For example, like if you want to create a folder, we'll just go right, we'll just click right click and then new and then folder. So basically all of these processes has some commands behind running behind the scenes. So basically cmd is for all of those commands. Okay, so we've discussed about those commands, we'll keep on discussing about those commands, but at the moment we already have this setup ready, so we'll just press go live. And so previously we've did 4 sections, not 3, so I'll assign a new assignment today, including all of the sections that we would do today, inshallah. Okay, so this is what we have created until this point. So now we have this one. Okay, so what do you see here? What is this? Come on, what is this this thing you're seeing here? Is it an image? Is it a video? Is it a text? Whatever it. What is this? It's a video, yeah. So right click, and we cannot directly take it. So I'll go with inspect, and I'll see where we have the problem, where we have the link, not the problem. So this is link, background video and link. It starts with HTTPS and it ends with MP4. So I'll double click, and yeah, it'll start with HTTPS and it will end at MP4. So copy it and open a new tab, and let's see if this is an actual link. And yes, this is the link. So I'll copy it and after this section, services section, I'll create a new section and I'll name it video section, and inside the video section I'll have the video div, and video takes its source from me. So I'll paste it, save it, go back to our website, and we have this video, but again this video is too big, like it's overflowing. So what should I do? What should I do in order to make my video, be compacted up inside whatever the screen is open? What should I do in order to, not allow this overflow?
You have to. Do you have to put the link?
No, I've already put the link. What I want now is I want my video to be as much as the size of the screen is. Like it shouldn't overflow from the screen. So what's the property for that?
Um,
It's
overflow
width.
hidden.
Width. We can just put, yeah, we can do overflow, but again for overflow we first have to specify the width. So width 100%, and it's perfectly inside the screen. But it's not playing. Why isn't it playing?
Do we have to make the width 100%?
I already did 100%. The width isn't the issue.
And the height?
And height is also, I think it's okay. The height is okay. I want the video to play. There were 2 ways to play the video. Do you guys remember?
Um,
It was one of
you
our
have to
starting lectures.
the autoplay muted
Yeah,
loop.
good, very good. So we have to put autoplay, and we'll do muted because that is our UI UX. We don't want to make our user feel kind of like. So yeah, here's the video. But there's a problem with this video. It's gonna run once and it'll stop there. I want this video to repeat again and again. So what's the attribute
The
for that?
loop.
Yeah, good, loop. So I'll go with loop. So it'll now play again and again. And it's probably responsive. So let me see, is it responsive? And if I were to decrease the size, yeah, it's perfectly responsive. Perfect. Let's move towards the next section. Now this one's really good. This section is really important. First, okay, there are 2 sections. First we have this. Let me open my pencil. And first one is this one. We have to create this one first, and then we'll move towards this section. Okay, so what do you see in the top section? What do you see here? Now I'm not gonna do anything. You have to tell me each and every step. Okay, so what do we have to do first? How many divs do you see?
One main.
Yeah, one main div. So let me open the paint. And this is our one main div. And how many divs do we have inside this main div? How many do you think we have?
Three.
No. Think again. These
Four?
three, these three are side by side. So
Two.
two, good. So we have two divs. One that is side by side, these three text elements, and then we have this box div like this. So we have two divs inside of the div. Inside the first one, we have three divs. This one is for e-commerce, then we have marketing, and then we have data analytics. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so let's start grading this one. So we'll have a section. So what should we name this section? What should we name this section? Like, give me a sensible name. Come on, any
Um,
name would be good. Like, but it should be sensible.
mm,
Let's name it e-commerce. Okay. So section with a class of, let's say, e-com, not e-commerce, because I think we already have something with e-commerce. Okay, so e-commerce, and we'll have three h2s. So h2, and it should be e-commerce. C-O-M-E-R-C-E, e-commerce. The second one is gonna say marketing. The third one is gonna say data analytics. Analytics. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so I want them side by side. What should I do?
Display flex.
Good. Display flex. Display flex on what?
On ecom.
Yeah, ecom. So, but again, we have a problem here, and that is inside the ecom we had two divs, one to accommodate the upper sections and one to accommodate this box section, and we haven't made the section for these three. So let's make the section for these three. So I'll name it ecom heading, and let's make another section called box for this one right here. Okay. Okay, so now which of these should have the display of flex? Ecom. Now ecom is not the parent. Who's the parent for these? Yeah, good. Ecom heading. So I'll go outside the media queries and I'll say ecom and heading. So I'll go with display flex. Perfect. Now I want to have some space between them. Space between them. If I were to put justify content, yeah, gap, because justify content is going to put a lot of space between them. We don't want that. So gap, let's say 1 rem. Yeah, perfect. And now I want to make them go in the last, like at the end. What should I do? Flex direction is going to change the direction. I want them to move towards from left to right side. Yeah, we can do that. We can do text align, but again we have displayed flex on this div. How do we move something on x-axis when we have display flex?
Content.
Yeah, justify content, and what would be the property? What would be the value?
And
End. Good. Flex end. Perfect. Okay, but there's a problem, and that problem is they're too much at the right. If we were to look at the actual website, they have this properly aligned space, and this space is properly aligned with the upper sections. So what was the width of upper sections? Do you guys remember the width for the upper sections?
100%?
No, no, no. For these sections, for all of these sections. There was a specific width we did.
I think it was 70.
Yeah, it was
70.
70. Good. So let's target the main parent, and main parent is ecom, because we want both the width of ecom heading and the width of box to be exactly the same. So let's target the main parent, so the children are going to be automatically aligned according to the parent. So we'll say the main parent is going to have a width of 70%, and each child inside the parent is going to have the width of 70%. And here you go. But and make sure to give it a margin of auto so that it's in the center, because at the moment this is not in the center. So I'll say margin 2 rem from top and bottom, and auto from left and right. And yeah, perfect. Now I want to make each one to have to be like this. So what should I do? Like, what do you see in these headings that we don't have in these headings? Like,
The
what's
color?
color is, I think, same apart from this first one, but we'll move towards this at the later time. What's the bigger difference that you're seeing?
And they're all capitalized?
Yeah, they're all not capitalized. There's another property. Like every letter is capital, so what was the property for making everything capital? So we'll say ecom heading, and h2 is going to target the h2, and we'll say that each one is going to have a text transformation of what? Capitalize? Is it capitalized or uppercase?
Uppercase, sorry.
Yeah, uppercase. Uppercase. So yeah, perfect. Now it's uppercase, but again it's too bold. If you were to look here, they're not as bold as we have on our side. So what's the property to make them less bold? What's the property to make something less bold?
Font weight.
Font weight. Good. Font weight, and I'll say lighter. Yeah, perfect. Okay, now let's target the first one. So how do we target the first one? There are two ways. We can, either give each one a separate class, or there's another thing we can do. There's another new property. We can say ecom heading, and there's another pseudo class. I think we have discussed about this in our starting lectures. Have we discussed about nth child, or have we not? Have we discussed about?
No, I don't think we did.
Okay,
No.
okay, okay. So the first question is, how many children with the name of H2 do we have inside ecom heading? How many children do we
3.
have? 3. Yeah.
3.
So what we can say is, we can say ecom heading, and then we'll target the H2. But if we were to do this, it's going to target each heading. Okay. Then what we can do after this is H2 and then colons, and then we can say nth, not mth, nth dash of dash type. So what this is going to do is, it's gonna target all the h2s, okay, and then this nth of type is gonna select the number which you want to select. For example, if you were to put 1 here, it's gonna select the h2 that is on the first of the that is in the first place of this ecom heading. If you were to put 2 here, it's going to target the h2 that is in the second place of this ecom heading. And similarly, if you were to put 3 here, it's going to target the third child with the class of h2 inside the ecom heading. Did you guys get it? Should I do it again?
Yeah. Say that one more time.
Okay. First question. What is this going to do? This selector. What is this selector going to do? Every h2. Yes. We just want to target this first h2. Yes. So either we can give each one of them a separate class, and we can call that class in our CSS, and then there's another way, another pseudo class like hover. Just like we have hover class, we have another class with the name of nth of type that selects a specific element out of all the elements you want to select. So we're gonna say e-commerce ecom heading, and then h2 is gonna select all the h2, but we'll say colons and then nth dash of dash type. Now this pseudo class expects a number, like which order do you want to select, which order do you want to select, which number of h2 do you want to select. So the question is, how many h2s do we have in this ecom heading? How many h2s? Three. So this nth of type expects a number. So if we were to write 1, is going to select what? The first h2. If we were to write 2, it's going to select the second h2. Similarly, if we were to write h3, it's going to select the third h2. Okay, is it okay or not? Or should we just give a separate class and call it here? It'll be easy, but again you have to know everything about css, almost everything about css. Okay, so let's say we're gonna have it a color of var and primary color, and it targeted only the first one. Okay, similarly, if we were to write 2 here, what would happen?
It's gonna target.
Yeah.
It's gonna target the first one and the second one.
I've only
Just the second one.
yeah, just the second one. Here you go, second. And if we were to write, let's say 3 here, what would happen now?
The third one.
Yeah, it's gonna target the last one. So here we have it, the last one. Oh, we just want the first one, so here you go. Okay, now we want to put this border around this first one. So we'll go inside the first one and we'll say border 1 pixel, solid and light gray. And now we have this border, but it's too sticked up to the text. How do we make it have some space from the inside? Padding, yeah, good. We want padding from in each h1 h2. I want padding in each h2, so I'm not gonna write it here because it's only targeting the first one. I want to put padding in every h2, so I'll go inside this one. I'll say padding to be, let's say, 1 rem. Yeah, perfect. So now comes the tricky part. I just want this box. I want this box. So we have already created a div with the name of box. So I'll target the box here. So I'll say box, and I'll give it some padding so we can see. Padding 1 rem, and I'll give it a border of 1 pixel, solid light gray, so we can see the box. Okay, now we have this box. But now comes the tricky part. If you were to see here, we have this kind of like an empty space here. Yes. How do we
Yeah.
make it just like that in here? How do we make it in here? So what do you think? What should we do? Think like a developer. Like there's only, it's just logic. It's pure
I
logic.
mean, should we use padding?
If you were to use padding in what? Box or this heading?
To no, that's for the space
Yeah,
inside.
it's gonna put the space inside. We can do that.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
Margin?
Margin on what? Box or heading?
Outside.
Yeah, on box, on this box, or on this heading. Like it has something to do with the margins.
We have to add the space outside the box.
Very good. That is one way. We can put the space on this box to make it go up. Yes, we can do that. That's
Yeah.
very good. Very good. That's exactly what we have to do. So how much do we want this box to go up? Now that is another logical question. This is another logical question. How much do we want this box to go up?
Like 10?
10 what, pixels?
Yeah.
Okay, but if we were to, I'm gonna say margin top. But if I were to say margin top 10 pixels, it's gonna push it from the top. We want it to move towards top. So what should we do? We can put a negative here. So it's gonna push it up. So here's the problem. 10 pixels is gonna push it too much. So I'm gonna give you a hint. Think about the borders. How much should we push it so that it perfectly aligns on top of the heading border? Like we want it like this. Wait, let me open the paint and I'll tell you what I'm trying to say. Okay, we have this box sorry, not box. We have this upper one is heading, and this one is the box. So at the moment they're like this. Okay, they're like
Yeah.
this. Wait, let me change the color as well, so it will be easy to understand. So at the moment they're like this. So how much do we make this box go up so that it perfectly aligns on the lower border of the heading? We want it like this.
Um.
Think about the borders. How thick our border is? How much do you think our border is thick? What's the width of the border? We have put 1 pixel of border. So if we were to move this box 1 pixels, it would perfectly align with the heading. So now they're perfectly aligned. Now they're in a single line. Can you see? Now they're perfectly aligned. So, but again, we still have a problem. We want this part to have a white color. Only to this part. So what we can do is we can target this single H2 and we can say border bottom. We want the bottom border to have a 1 pixel of solid white. So the color of this border, the border color, and the background color is gonna mix up. So we'll have a feeling that it's transparent. Can you see?
So when we do the border bottom, so we only make the bottom border white, right? It's
Yes.
just
Yes.
okay.
So if we were to do, let's say, border top, what would happen? It's gonna target only the
Top border.
top one. Yes. Let's say this one. So we can target only the top one. Okay, but did you guys get what we did here? This
Yeah.
part? So I'm gonna go through over it again. So what we had was we had a heading border, and we had this box border. So at the beginning they were like this. So they were like they were the box was before the heading was before the box. So what we wanted to do is we wanted its box to be on top of this heading. So we moved the box 1 pixel above. So if you were to move the box 1 pixel above, the border of the top heading was 1 pixel. So if we subtract 1 pixel, so they would perfectly come on top of each other. So the second thing we did is we made the border of this red one to have a color of white. So when we made this one white, so we had a feeling that it's transparent. So it's like this. Okay, but the main part remains, and that is responsiveness. So let's see, where do we have the problem? So right around here, let's make it 900. So what are they doing when it comes to responsiveness? Okay, okay, so they have everything aligned column wise. So let's see, when we have this problem, we have this problem at 900. So what we want to do is we want to remove this box. Okay, at 900 we want to remove the box. So do we have something that complements 900? We don't have anything. So let's make, how do we make media queries?
Add media.
At media, and then
Um. Comma max width.
not comma, there's another thing,
I mean, sorry.
space, yeah, space, and then we have max width. Yeah, so we have it 900 pixels. So what we want to do is, the first thing we want to do is we want to remove this box from the bottom. So the box is named as box, so I'll say box, and display to be none, so it'll hide. Yeah, perfect. And the next thing I want is I want to have border on each of the H2s. So if you were to watch this, So all of them have this border now. So we're gonna say that when it reaches 900, let's make it 900, everything should have, every h2 is gonna have a border. So here I'm gonna target that specific h2, so I'll say ecom heading and then h2. So everything is going to have a border of 1 pixel solid and light gray. So yeah, everything has this border, but there's a problem. Wait, let me change the border color. We have this, but again this one doesn't have it. This one doesn't have the border. Why do you think it's happening? Why do you think this one doesn't have this red border, whereas I've targeted every h2 that is inside the ecom heading?
Because
Yeah,
it has a different.
exactly. It was targeted differently. It was targeted specifically. Like we want just the h1, that is the first one. So we targeted it specifically. That's why this one is not working. This one, but there is a way around it, and that what is that now? It's a new thing. So what we can do is we're going to put a space at the end of the property, and I'm going to put an exclamation mark, and I'll say important. So what this important in CSS refers to, that this property I'm writing is important. It should have importance over everything. Like you have to apply it no matter what. Just apply it. Don't look at any other properties. Just apply this property. This one has the most importance. So if you want to have something to apply irrespective of the parent or child, you just write important. So this important is gonna make that property apply no matter what. So save it, and now we have this border on every child. Okay, so this important basically specifies the importance of that thing, that property. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to have them aligned in a column. How can we do that?
Can we do flex direction?
Yeah, good, flex direction. And who's the parent? Ecom heading was the parent. So I'll say dot ecom heading and flex direction to be column. Yeah, perfect. And let's remove this red color. We want a light gray color. Yeah, and also increase the width, because these will need to be aligned on the left side. But I think, yeah, I think it's good. Let it be. Okay, so let's move towards next sections. Yeah, let's move towards next sections. So what do you see now? This section, this is really important because it has a lot of stuff in it. So how many divs do you see?
One main div.
One main div, yeah. For what? How many elements is that main div accommodating? Okay, what we can do is, let's make a separate div for this one. Okay, and then we'll have a main div. First one is for this one. Okay, this one, and then we can make a main div for these ones. Okay, so make this one separate. It'll be easy that way. So after this section, okay, so let's name it this div to be power. So I'll say section with the name of power, and we'll have this paragraph, and it will have this heading, and let's put a BR after the brand so we can break the line from this point. And yeah, that's it. So we have it. So let's style it first. This one. So the main parent is power, so we'll target the power, and the first thing we want to do is we want to align it with the above sections. So what should we do? What should we do in order to make it align with the above sections?
Change its width.
Yeah, good, very good. So we'll change the width to be 70% and we want it to be in the center. So we can say margin to be 2 rem and auto. Yeah, perfect. Now let's target this P. So we can say that target the power and target the P that is inside the power. So make it have the color of this gray and the font size to be 1.5 rem or 4 rems. Yeah, and similarly target the H2 that is inside the power. Increase the font size to be 2 rem, and I want this color and I want it to be lighter, so I can say font weight to be lighter. Yes, perfect. Let's see the responsiveness now. Yeah, I think we can make it go in the center when it reaches the smaller screen. So maybe at let's say at 630. Yeah, so we can say when it reaches the 630, everything in power div should be text aligned in the center. Yeah, perfect. Now this is the important section, this one. So what do you see here? This one only. How many divs do we have? One, yeah. We have one main div, and how many divs do we have inside that main div? Two, good. So left one and right one is just an image, and inside the left one we have four. So one for this icon, heading, this bigger paragraph, and this smaller paragraph. Yeah, so outside this section make another section, and let's name this section to be Android maybe. So I'll say this section should be named Android or iOS, whatever. Android, and this one let's name it A left, and this one would be A right. So A left, and then we have A right. Okay, yeah. So I want this exact image. So if I were to right click, and we don't have that copy image address, so I can inspect, and you will see that this is an SVG. So what do you guys know about SVG? Do you have any idea about SVGs? It might be an interview question. So SVG stands for Scalar Vector Graphics. So basically SVGs are kind of like text, and they are molded in such a way that they'll give you a feeling of being an image or being an icon. So I want this exact thing. So what I can do is right click and edit as HTML, and I can copy all of it. So Control A, Control C, and here I can make a folder, and I can name it, let's say, icons, and inside this I can create a file, and let's name it mobile dot, and this extension is really important. You have to say SVG, okay, because we've copied the SVG. Save it, and here we can open the file and paste it what we have copied. So this is the path of that mobile icon you're seeing. So now we have that mobile icon, so you can see it here. Yeah, this one. So that icon, that path, all of that code is for this icon. So now we can use it. And how can we use it? So basically these SVGs, you can call them images. So the first thing inside the A left is an image, and it's going to target to this folder. So if we want to get the current folder, what should we do? We've discussed about this in the last class. If you want to get the current folder, what's that specific character that we have to put in order to get the current folder? We've discussed. Yeah. What was it? Good. Dot. Good. Dot and then slash. So I want to redirect it to this folder. Icons. So I'll say icons slash and then mobile dot svg. So yeah, we have this mobile, but again it's too big. So we can have a width of 50 pixels. Yeah, perfect. Okay, after this we have this h2. So h2. Then we have this p. Then we have another p. So yeah, everything's ready. Now let's get this image. Right click, copy image address, and inside the a right we can have an image, paste it and give it a width of 100%. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so first thing I want to do is I want them to be side by side. What should I do? Very good. Display flex. Display flex on what? Who's the parent? Yeah, good. Android. So on Android we can say display flex. Yeah, we have them side by side, but I want each of these sections to have exactly same width, because you know, if this one is bigger than the right section, this one is going to take more space as compared to the right section. So we can target both of these sections separately. So I can say a left and comma and then a right, and I can say the width for each one should be 100%, like whatever the flex is given. Okay, so now I want the main container to be aligned with the above sections. So what should I do in order to have the same what? Same width.
Same way.
Yeah, good. 70%. So I want them in the center. So I'll say margin. I want the space from above and bottom. So 2 rem from above and bottom, and from left and right I want it to be auto. Yes, perfect. Now I want to have some space between them. So let's give this one a margin of top and bottom. So it's gonna be I will have space from top and bottom of this section. Okay, so this one I want this first one. So what we can do is we can say dot a left and we'll target the p, but this one is going to target both of these p's. So I want this first one. What's the thing that we have studied just now? Not just now, maybe like 5 to 10 minutes ago. That
Yeah.
What was it? It was starts with an n.
Forgot. Yeah. NTH.
Good. Nth
Yeah.
dash of and then type. So we want the first one. So we'll say 1, and we want the margin to be 1 rem from top and left and 0 from left and right. So we have this space. Okay. We want to make it bigger, so we can say font size to be, let's say, 1.5 rem. Yeah, perfect. And similarly we want to target the second one, so we can say the second one, it's not going to have the margin, it will have the color of the size of 1.3. Yeah, perfect. Now let's give both of them the color of that gray. So color and this one, perfect. And let's target this one now. So we'll say dot a left and get me the h2 that is inside the h left. It's going to have the font size of 2 rem, perfect, and it will have a font weight of lighter. Yes, we want some space from above, so we can say margin top to be 1 rem. Yes, perfectly aligned. So let's focus on making it responsive first, and then we can target the next sections. So yeah, here the width increases, so we should increase the width as well. So at mm, yeah, at 930 something. Do we have something that is complementing 930? We have 900, we don't have 930. So let's make 930, but it should be above it. So remove all of this, and it's going to target 930. So yeah, so we should increase the width of this main container. So the main container was Android, so we can say the width should be 90%. It was Android, yes. So why isn't it working? Because it wasn't 930 at the moment. Okay, yeah. So we have to make it this one aligned with it as well, this top one. So the top one was named, I guess, power, so we can say dot power as well. So we want to increase the width of the power as well at 930. So yeah, so the next problem is here, 782. Let's change the direction at 782. We don't have anything at 782, so make something. So let's make it 732. 732, 782. So let's make it up to 790. So we want to change the direction, like we want it to be side by side, not side by side anymore, in a column. So what should we do? How should we make them go in a column?
The flex direction.
Good, the flex direction. So who's the parent for these? It was, I guess, Android. Android, yeah, and we can say flex direction to be column. Yeah, perfect. And make them go in the center, these one. So we can simply say that everything inside that Android should have a line of text in. Perfect. So let's me decrease the size, and this is too big. The size is too big. Font size is too big for the smaller screens. That is 417. So I think we have something for, yeah, here it is, 440. So we can say everything inside the Android, not everything, sorry. The P inside the Android should have a font size of, let's say, 1 rem, and make it important, so it's applied, yeah. And similarly for H2 as well, so we can say H2 is gonna have a size of 1.4. Yes, perfect. Okay, so if we were to look at the next section, so they are they're almost similar, except for the second one. We can target that one as well. So what should we do is we can copy everything down. Okay, so all of this section, this Android section, so I'm going to copy it down 2 times, 1 2. Perfect. But the second one, the order is reversed. Like this image is on the left side, and this text is on the right side. So what we can do is we can give a separate class. Make sure this Android is there, okay, because we want the styling to be same. So this Android would have this second one is going to have 2 classes. One would be Android, because the Android is already styled here. If I were to show you again, so Android is already styled here. We want it to style differently, so we can give it another class. So let's say A2, maybe we can call it as Android 2. Okay, so A2 is a separate class for the second one, so we can target A2. How do you think we can reverse the order? You've already studied about this. We want this image to be on the left and this text to be on the right. What do you think would happen? We can do. What do you think we can do? You've already studied about the property. What's the property to change the directions of FlexPay children?
The flex direction.
Exactly, flex direction. Flex direction doesn't only have column and rows. It has a lot of things. Look, column reverse, row reverse. Like there's a lot of stuff. So which one of these do you think we should apply? we want to reverse the order. We want this image to be, so which one should we do? Column reverse. Is this the column or the row? Is the row. So what should we do? We're gonna reverse the row. So now the order is reversed. Okay, but there's a problem, and that problem is when we reach the smaller screens, this row, this the second one is not reversed. When we reach the smaller screen, we want this order to be reversed. So we're gonna go to the smaller screens, and what was the smallest screen? It was yeah, no, this wasn't, this isn't the one. This is it, yeah, this one. So we're gonna target the A2 here, the second one, and we're gonna say flex direction. We want the columns to be reversed now. So instead of column, we're gonna say column reverse. So here you go. Now the columns are reversed as well. So any problem until now? Any problem? Okay. Let's do this section. This one will be the last section. Okay. And everything else, no, not everything else is too much. I want to start a new topic, because this one is, I know it's it's kind of difficult, but again the next topic we're gonna study, you wouldn't need any of these things what we did for the last 3 to 4 classes. Okay, for responsiveness is kind of like a headache, but the next thing that we are going to study is going to counter everything. Like, we don't have to write media queries for each and every screen sizes. That thing is going to take care of everything. All of these things is going to be achieved only with one line. Okay, so you don't have to worry about these things being difficult, because again we're not going to use them anymore. But you should know about these, okay, because in order to study that thing, the one we want to start, you need to understand these things. But I'll tell you, these things we're not going to use them in actual websites, or in big websites. We're going to use the frameworks for that, and that's what we want to start. But first we have to complete this website. So we should hurry, we should make us fast as much as we can. Okay, so let's target this section. So after this section, let's name this one operations. So I'm going to create a section with the class of operations. So the first thing we see here is h2. So we'll target the h2, and what do you see here now? First we have what? Main container, yes. We have the main container. Inside the container, how many divs do we have? Two. The text section and the image section. So inside the text section, we have this paragraph. We have this heading. And what is this? OL, yes, ordered list. And after the OL, we have this button. Yes. Okay. So inside the operations, we'll have a main div first. So what should I name it? Features, maybe. Let's name this main div to be features. And inside the features, we're gonna have f left and f right. Inside the f left, we have this p, and then we have this h2, and then we have this ol. So I'll say ol. Do you guys remember ol? What is ol?
The ordered line?
Yeah, the ordered list. So li.
Yes.
So again li, and then we have again, order management, and then the last one, and the last we have this button. So outside the OL we'll have a button, and let's give it a class of demo btn. I think we already have this style for demo btn, so it'll help us, and it'll say book demo, and there's a parenthesis missing. Yeah, perfect. And on the second side we have this image, and this image is like this. Okay, you don't have to clip it, this image is already like this. So copy image address. So inside the F right we're gonna have image, and it'll have a width of 100%. Okay, now we want these two to be side by side. What should we do? Again, this question is now boring. Yeah, what should we do in
हाँ
order to
जी,
make it side by side?
डिप्लेक्स है,
Flex, yes. On what?
फीचर्स,
Features. Good. So outside the media queries, features, we're gonna have display of flex. Perfect. And for the parent is operations. So I'll target the operations, and I'll say the background is gonna have a var primary color. Yeah, and we want to have some padding from the inside. Perfect. And this h2 should be in the center, so we're gonna say operations and h2 to be text align in the center. Everything should have a color of white. So what happened here? Why does this one get in the center? Why does this get in the center? But let me have this color on the operation, so everything is white inside. Yes, good. So everything inside, every h2 inside the operation is gonna be text aligned center. We just want the first one, so we can say nth of type, nth of type, the first one to be in the center. It's still targeting the all of them. So let's target, maybe let's say first child. This is also, एक मिनट, कितना टाइम रह गया? ओके, मैं आपको नहीं लिंक भेजता हूँ, I'll send you link. Okay, so this didn't work. So let's make there's another class with the name of first child, pseudo class with the name of first child. We're going to target the first child only. If you want the last one, we have another pseudo class for that with the name of last child. So we have a lot of pseudo classes. We'll discuss them as we go on, inshallah. Okay, so now we want each section in the operation to have the same width. Like this one is taking more width than the right one. Okay, so what we can do is we can say the f left and the f right are gonna have the width of 100%. Like they shouldn't have a different width. So yeah, perfect. This one is too big, so maybe let's decrease the size for this one. So it's 100% at the moment. Let's make it have 50% or 40%. Yes, perfect. Okay, so now we want this features container to be aligned with the above sections. Like it should have the same width like we have for the above sections. So in the features, we're gonna say width. We're gonna say the width is going to be 70%. 70%. And for the margin, we can say 2 rem from top and bottom, and auto from left and right. Yes, but this is now too small. So let me increase the width of this image. Maybe let's say 70%. Yes, it's good now. And then we have, when you want to have this margin from top and bottom between them, so we'll target this one, this highlight features. So let me give it a separate class. So I'm going to give this one a separate class, and I'll call it highlight. So I'll target the highlight here, and I'll say it should have a margin of 2 rem 0, 2 rem from left top and bottom, and 0 from left and right. Yes, perfect. Okay, so now we want to push it from the left side, these OLs. So what should we do from the left side? I want to push it from left side. What's the property for that? If I want to push it from the left side, yeah, margin left, good. So we want to push all of it. So what is this, all of this? What is this?
The list.
Good, the list. That is inside the features. So we can say features and then OL, and then we can say margin left to be 2 rem. Yes, perfect. And let's target this button now. So it was demo BTN. Let me give it a separate name, because if I were to target demo BTN here, both of the buttons are going to be targeted at them. Oh yeah, demo sounds good. So let's target the demo, and we can say the background is white. So the background is white, the color is var and primary color, and we have some padding 0.5 from top and bottom, 1 from left and right. It should have a border of none, border radius of let's say 40 px. Perfect. It should have a margin 2 rem from left and right, top and bottom, and I want to have a lot of margin from the left side. So 2 rem from top, 0 from right, 0 from bottom, or maybe let's say 2 rem from bottom as well, and 4 rem from left side. Yeah, just like this one. And it's ready for the bigger screen. Let's move it towards the smaller screen, and let's see where do we have the problem. Yeah, here. Just like we increase the width for the top section, increase it here as well. Also, these two are not aligned perfectly. Like this one is at the top, this one is the bottom. I want them to be aligned in the center. What should I do? If I want them to be aligned in the center, so in the main parent, I can say align items in the center. Yes, now they're perfectly aligned. Okay, so let's increase the width when this one is increasing its width. Here, so it was around 9 something. So let's go, yeah, 930. So we can put a comma here and target the features as well. Yes, perfect. And when the upper one is changing the directions, we can change it for this one as well. So when is the upper one changing the directions? At 870? No, at 790. Yeah, it's changing the direction, so we can change it here as well. So we can say the features is gonna have a flex direction of column. Perfect. Now I want everything to be in the center, so I can say text align in the center. So everything is in the center, but there's a problem here. We don't want this to be in the center, all of this, the upper section. So upper section was named A left, not F left, sorry, F left, and we can say the text align for the F left is gonna be on the left side. Yes, perfect. Okay, so any problem until now? Okay, so one last thing, I want to push my code, my new update to GitHub. So what's the process? What's the procedure for that? First, we're going to open our terminal using Control J. Let me maximize it. Let me open my bash terminal. And what were those 3 commands?
Wait. git add.
Yeah, good, git add. But where's my terminal? I can see my terminal. Wait, what happened to my terminal?
Like git commit.
Yeah, and the last one was,
And git push.
yeah, good, git push. So wait, my terminal is acting up. Let me close this one and open it again. Yeah, okay. So open the bash, and the first one was, what happened? Yeah, the first one was git add and then dot. This would mean add everything that we did today. It's gonna add everything. Okay, so the next one is git commit dash m and whatever your comment is. So what we did today is did until operations section, operations section, and last one is git push dash u originally. Okay, so my code is now ready. So for the assignments, what you have to do is you first have to push your code to GitHub and then locate your repository, and my repository one named as, I guess, simple. Yes, this one. Go towards action. First you have to upload your code. Okay, so pages, and this is the link you have to send me where it is building at the moment. Yeah, so yeah, so this is the link that you have to send me as the answer to that assignment. This link, if I were to click on this link, it's going to open up my website that we have created until today. Okay, I'm going to create a new assignment for you guys, and it will be, so how much time do you need? Like, you have to create until this section, operations section.
For the simple X lesson.
Yeah, the simple X up until this section, operations. Is
Yeah.
Friday good or Saturday?
Saturday.
Okay, this is good. But again, if you were to extend it to Saturday, you have to do other assignments as well. Like, there are more sections for these websites as well. So it's gonna it's
Yeah.
gonna stack up. So okay, Saturday sounds good. So but make sure to submit your assignments. If you don't, you'll be marked 0, and the progress is being recorded, so it wouldn't have a good
Yeah.
effect. Okay. So any questions?
No.
Okay, okay, you can leave. So inshallah we'll have a class again tomorrow. Until that time, please continue doing these tasks. And again, you don't have to worry about these media queries because we don't have to use them. Okay, these are not used when it comes to building like big projects. Always frameworks are used. So whatever we did, maybe they were like 1,000 lines, maybe like in total we have 1,000 lines, and for the CSS we have around 400 500 lines. All of this is going to be achieved with only one line. Okay, and when we do bootstrap, all of this is going, yeah.
Oh.
So basically we are getting ready for that. Okay, so you don't have to worry about this one, but you have
Yeah.
to practice this
So
one. Yeah.
yeah. So
So
whatever we're doing right now,
yeah,
like all this, like using 400 lines. In the future, when we're doing bigger websites, it's all going to be in one.
exactly, yes. All of this, like, for we have did 380, 440, 630, 7 something, 8 something.
Yeah.
Like, all of this is gonna be achieved with one line only. Okay, just like,
Yeah. And then with the notepad.
yeah, exactly, just like with the notepad. When we moved towards VS Code, it was like a lot easier than that what we did used to do in notepad. So it's kind of like similar, but you can say
Okay.
it's more than that. Okay,
All right.
so any questions?
No.
Okay,
Thank you.
you guys can leave. Allah Hafiz.
Well,
Allah Hafiz.